Hey all, Zook here with part 5 of the All Bosses No Damage Guide for Scholar of the First Sin. This is going to be the episode that really opens up the rest of the game for us, thanks to game fall control. Everything up to this point has been pretty much you have to do it in this order, but after this episode, I'll be mentioning some ways that you can branch out the paths. But we'll be taking down Prowling Magus and Congregation and ending up by gaining fall control from Ornifex. Now, if you remember last video, we finished up buying some Alluring Skulls in the Silver Cat ring. Assuming that you've already done what's on the screen, assuming that you already got your stone ring, the next thing that you would want to do is go get the Fang Key and free Ornifex. And we'll do that at the end of this video. I accidentally mess up and forget to do it before Congregation, but you should free Ornifex before Congregation. Now, talking about this ogre, either try to bait out that jump attack that he just did, or he has this 3-part attack where he tries to backflop on you. If he tries to backflop, that's another way, but basically you're just trying to get behind him so that he tries to sit on you, because that's the attack that you can easily punish. So grab the stone ring from him, and also grab that gold pine resin, and then you should be good to go to, in this case, I accidentally go to the campsite when I should have gone to free Ornifex. If you did this at the proper time, I think that would have been right before going back to Majula and Shaded Woods. But you'll see me here at the campsite. I now equip the Alluring Skulls, and I'm going to use 2 Alluring Skulls. First one gets used to distract the guys, well, both the peasants that are running up towards you and the one peasant that is trying to drop down on you. All of those enemies get distracted by that skull, which means that you can grab this large Titanite shard. Now, the other skull gets used to distract the bouncers that are very particular about who gets to go see the congregation. And then we just come down, try to fight the congregation and maggots. We're going to use an aromatic ooze for the fight, and we're also going to equip a ranged weapon in the offhand. I use the crossbow, you can use the regular bow. Honestly, the best piece of advice that I can give to become proficient at all of this is get good at using the offhand ranged weapon. But from here, I'm just adjusting all the rings. I personally put the Chloranthy in the top left so that I have the easy swap down to Silver Serpent ring. And then make sure that you have equip load under 25%. Equip that aromatic ooze. And then you should also have every single type of bomb that you have in your inventory equipped, so that you can kind of deal with the walking mobs easier. Because after you run past the first set of pews and quickly backtrack, like I just did, you stab the first cleric 3 times, which gets rid of him. But now, after that first cleric is down, your main goal is trying to get rid of the standing mobs, the ones that are walking at you. So this is where that offhanded crossbow or regular bow come in handy. Honestly, I backed myself into the corner a little bit quicker than I should have. I should have probably waited along the 3rd set of pews rather than the 4th set. And then that crossbow hit that I went for was super greedy because Magus was charging up an attack, and as you can see, it did punish me. But yeah, just be patient and shoot the walking mobs. Now that the Walking Dead are done, every single enemy in here is going to stagger in 1 hit because you have the stone ring. So it's honestly just a matter of kind of mopping up the fight. You can shoot these people from long range. Try not to get too greedy like I did. The guys that are on the floor might be trying to come after you. As with pretty much every other enemy that we've done ranged with, the crossbow does do more damage than the regular bow at this point, so I mean, use the crossbow if you have enough bolts. And make sure you got everything equipped. And now that the boss is down, we are going to come up to Cromwell and grab the ascetic that's next to him. And also we're going to prac his first line of dialogue, just so that when we eventually come back to him to buy some stuff to deal with poison in Harvest Valley, when we eventually come back to him, his first line of dialogue is already out of the way. Just one of those little things that saves like 2 or 3 seconds. But then you're going to light your torch. Or actually, sorry, you don't light your torch just yet. You rest, shoot the hollow mages, and then you'll go ahead and light the torch. So shoot these hollow mages here. This first guy, you actually, if you shoot him enough times, you can get him to fall off the edge. That would be more if you're using wooden arrows. Then you can get that first guy to fall off the edge and die from the fall damage. But we kill those 2 mages, kill these 2 spiders. And now I light up the torch. And we come down here to grab this 2k soul. Also equip the silver cat ring so that I don't take damage from that drop or this drop. Well, if I did this drop correctly, then I wouldn't have taken any damage from it. But like I said before, there are going to be some skill hits that I take. And just redo that whole entire thing right here. So again, kill the 2 mages. I actually don't need to kill the 2 spiders that I do, just force of habit that I do. And just kind of let the gameplay speak for itself here for the next 30 seconds or so. Yeah, so again, I didn't need to kill these 2 spiders just because I already had the 2k soul. But light that torch, and as long as you have the silver cat ring equipped, then this drop won't hurt. If you don't have the ring equipped, then it will hurt you. And then do this drop properly. And then walk through the doorway. And so I mess up here as well. So I shoot this spider down, and then as I'm backing up, I should be knocking another arrow rather than waiting for it to be at the door before I start to knock another arrow. That is definitely a mistake on my part. That is actually the first time that that spider has hit me in several dozen attempts. And then from that safe ledge, that's actually where if you need to kill anything in the sand pit area, that's probably the safest place to shoot them from, that ledge where I just got hit by the spider. And then kill these 2 hollow mages above the hole in the roof. Shoot one of the spiders and the rest will drop. And I pick up the lightning urns. And I'm just going to go ahead and throw these lightning urns at the spiders, try to hit as many as possible all at once, make the job a little bit easier. But you're going to want to kill all 7 of these before you try to go down there. And if all 7 of them aren't dead, then it is not safe to go down there. It's, as you just saw with that one spider that hit me, the spiders are extremely quick. And you do not have a torch or a flame butterfly to use at this point to make that any easier. So just make sure you have all 7 killed. The good news about it is that I have not had any of these spiders get perma-stuck out of view. I mean, as long as you're patient and you're willing to wait a minute or so for one of the spiders to come out. I mean, maybe it helps to shoot an arrow at the floor. You'll actually see me do that, not for this spider, but for the very last spider. You'll see me shoot an arrow at the floor here, just because the 7th spider wasn't really coming out. Just the noise of that arrow seems to attract the spiders. Yep, there he is. And then now that you're safe to go down, light the bonfire, open the door, and then there are 2 spiders that you need to kill before you go outside the door. These are the 2 spiders that will aggro after you walk out of the door. So we just take them out from the safety of inside the house first. And then once those 2 are taken care of, before you go too far towards Ornifex's door, go ahead and get this basilisk out of the way. And then finally, you'll run to Ornifex and then run right back because you're being invaded by Bowman Guthrie. And we climb back up this ladder, and as long as you're super quick about it, the 3 spiders that climb over the edge of the sandpit shouldn't have aggroed to you yet. I'll talk about dealing with those spiders here in just a second, but as for Guthrie, get her into that corner and get yourself into a position where you can safely just strafe around the pit. And to deal with Guthrie, it's super easy. If her back is to the wall, she doesn't even actually fire any arrows. They get stuck on the wall behind her, meaning that you can just kind of strafe back and forth and just shoot her after she tries to shoot. As you just saw, if she moves around, she can shoot actual arrows at you, but even if she does, these are like literally, I think, the only arrows in the game that don't track you. So just strafe left and right, and as long as you don't accidentally fall into the pit, then you'll be fine. And again, the spiders shouldn't have aggroed you, so you can run over here, light the torch, giving you safe passage to Ornifex. If you really are nervous about those spiders, you can actually go out to that ledge that I said was the safe spot for dealing with things in the sand pit. And you can shoot the spiders from there. But otherwise, when you're in Ornifex's place, grab the flame butterfly and the pharaoh stone, and this is when I realized that Ornifex wasn't here. And I'm like, okay, well, looks like I'm going back to Shaded Ruins, and accidentally choose the wrong bonfire. And yeah, you'll notice that in every video from here on out, I actually end up starting from a save file for every single one, specifically because of this video. As I messed up a couple times more than I should have, and hopefully that doesn't happen again. Or if it does happen, it's not going to be posted on YouTube. But now at this point, normally because you would already have the Lion Mage set, you would want to jump across and just immediately grab the Fang key. But because of the usage of Fragrant Branches, I want to get the Fragrant Branch from the Lion Mage set before I get the one for the Fang key. If you mess that up, there's a Fragrant Branch next to Ornifex, so I mean you can still remedy the situation, but ideally you would already have this part done, where you would aggro the Basilisk with a Fire Bomb, and then kill it with a single crossbow bolt. Like so. Yep. And then, so behind you, there actually is a ghost boy. He was hiding behind some barrels. The wall behind you, he can aggro through it. I haven't had it happen, so it's not something that I normally think about. But then again, I normally don't get the Lion Mage set. I should, but I don't for most of my normal runs. So I'm pretty sure that the ghost boy that is to just on the other side of that building with the Lion Mage set, I'm pretty sure that he can aggro through the wall. So it's just one of those things where you might want to lead the Lion Warrior outside of that building and then go back in to get the Lion Mage set. But now at this point, I'm going to kill these basilisks. I forgot about the Fang key, which you'll see here, but it actually works out really well just because I would rather have the Basilisk killed at this point because one of the Ghost Boys is aggroed to me up above. So coming back here is a little bit more dangerous. So yep, I just kind of killed these basilisks, wait from far back. As far as I'm aware, and if I have any say in the rules for this run, the corrosive pools here should not count as a hit. It doesn't do any damage to your stamina or your health. It doesn't stagger you. I just think that it's such a silly thing that I don't think that should count as a hit personally if you step in it on accident. But yeah, so kill the basilisk. I pick up that twinkling titanite that is in the cave on the right side, and then realize that I forgot the fang key. Realize, oh wait, I already picked up that soul. And then, okay, now I can come up here and get the fang key. Want to say the Lion Warriors take 4 or maybe 5 hits with the rapier, and just punish that swipe across his body. That's the attack that you do want to punish. And then, I mean, you could rest if you wanted to. I probably should have, because as you're about to see, well, after I've fail that jump. You're about to see that there is a ghost boy that was aggroed near that the one pit that like they put planks and a cursor on that is meant to trick you into falling into the basilisk hole. There is a ghost boy that's aggroed straight ahead of us right now. But luckily, because I had killed the basilisks, I'm able to safely drop down there. But conceivably, I would imagine that going back the grand old path would have been a bit more dangerous because that ghost boy would have been shooting a crossbow at us. But assuming that you did everything in the proper order, you should be able to just free Ornifex right away, grab the fragrant branch next to her, and then if you did this the proper way, then you would be going to Congregation and doing that boss fight right now. But for me, because I messed up, I mean, obviously, since I'm just routing this, yes, I should be trying to take as little damage as possible, but at this point, I'm just like, all right, this isn't actually going to happen in an actual run, so I'm just going to run through and try not to get hit, and who cares if I do. Go talk to Ornifex, though. Make sure you have the torch equipped. Yeah, go talk to Ornifex and buy. So it'll be 20 flame arrows. You'll want these for getting through the second DLC. 4 flame butterflies for dealing with the dark lurker. And you also want the 1 additional flame butterfly for the third DLC. And then, most importantly, by fall control. Like I had said before, fall control opens up the rest of the game for us. We can now do basically anything that we wanted to in the game, or at least, I mean, go any direction, I should say, in the game. That's whether that's to the Rotten, whether that is to the Lost Bastille, whether that is going and doing Freya right now. So level up intelligence to 15 so that you can cast fall control and make it down to Black Gulch. That's going to be the next video is going to Black Gulch. And then I also buy 100 arrows from Lenegrast. That helps me deal with the Woodland Child Invader when I am in Black Gulch. But aside from that, I just attune fall control and equip that sorcerer's staff that we had picked up back in the Forest of Fallen Giants. And from here, you're ready to head on down to fight the Rotten a couple times in the next video. So I will catch you in the next one.